Hello, hello. Ciao Moran, how are you?
Hello, Domenico. I'm good. And yourself?
Ah, I could be better. I have a, a bit of cold, but it's
Oh,
okay.
happy to
But
be back on Sustainable Sundays with you.
thank you, thank you. But by
And
the way,
loving being able to play with technology together as we use it to connect the world.
yes, because this day, this Sustainable Sunday is special because we are both on YouTube and Facebook, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
And we can get the confirmation um, basically through whoever's watching when they watch. And yeah, I just got my notification. So looks like we're live. We're exploring and
yeah.
experimenting. Welcome, everyone, to Sustainable Sundays. This week, we're going to talk about how to be sustainable during the holiday season and others.
Yes, yes. That's why I see a chimney on your back. Maybe it's the
Yes,
chimney where Santa is coming.
there it is. There's
Oh,
a
there it
chimney
is.
over here. Yes.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
And I think that
And
nowadays also Santa is gonna be sustainable, and surely he won't bring coal because coal is going to phasing out, no? And
you
so
know,
what Santa will bring if he's not bringing coal?
well, I don't know. It depends if you've been a good girl or a bad girl, a good boy or a bad boy, I think, isn't it?
Okay, and for that, I think that if I imagine that I've been good, I don't know. I don't want to say that I was good. I don't want to be there, but maybe let's sympathize that I was good. And so, what can the Santa can bring to me? Which type of gift do you think?
Oh, let's see. I think this year Santa is going to bring you some recycled glass straws, maybe?
Wow,
This is-
that's a great a gift. I think that we can receive for this Santa, and it's
Can I show
important
you an
also.
example?
Sorry?
Can I show you an example?
Sure, sure, sure.
Here you go. Here's an example. See my sustainable straw?
Aha.
It even says, what does it say? Well, can you
Ah,
see? Be
yes, yes.
organic. Be organic. And I
That's a
love it because,
that's a gift. That's a gift actually.
yeah,
And then
it's a great gift and it's a great stocking stuffer. Do you
great.
guys have stockings in Italy? Or
I
is
don't
that an
know.
American thing?
No, no, not so much.
You know what a
And
stocking is?
no, tell me.
It's where what you hang it on the chimney, like the
Uh-huh.
socks, and you put gifts inside the socks.
Ah, yes, sure. Yes,
Oh,
actually we have. Actually we have, but will not be Santa that is like putting the gift in. We have another another like superhero we can say that is gonna
oh,
bring the. Actually, we call that Befana. It's like a witch, and usually she is coming at the 6th of January when there is
hmm.
the Epiphany.
Ah,
So
the
the,
resurrection?
no, the Epiphany is
No, the
when
resurrection is later. It's like Easter, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. But in the Epiphany, like the sacred scriptures say that there was the day in which three mages, three kings from like several kingdom
Right.
in the Middle East were coming there
Mhm.
to bring gift to the like to Jesus in this case, not that was already born. And on that, this is like the sacred and the church explanation of the day of the Epiphany. But the popular legends say that the same day is gonna come a witch, this witch that's called Befana, that is similar, that the wording is similar, that is gonna bring good sweets to the ones that have been good, and supposed to be cold, but I don't know, this time it will be not cold for the one that have been bad. So it's not
Oh.
Santa that is putting the thing in the socks, but this witch on this brush, like it's a flying brush.
Oh, wow. Okay. I never knew there's witches in the Christmas story, but there you go.
Yeah.
It's just shows we come from different parts of the world and different stories in different parts. But here, want to see the rest of it?
Yeah, yeah, please.
So, whoa, the straw comes out. First of
Uh-huh.
all, this is material that's batik, that
Uh-huh.
is handmade, and it's reused. And so it's
Uh-huh.
recycled material to keep your straw inside. And then you have the straw. Whoa, you see the straw?
Uh-huh.
And the straw has a brush to keep it clean. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's not like the metal straws or the bamboo straws where it's hard to see if they're clean and hygienic inside. So it's good. And it's made with recycled glass. And these ones have little sentences and mantras on them. Well, can you see? Sentence. I'll read it to you.
Also,
This one says, I am the living, loving, joyful expression of life. And you want to know
I
something really
concur.
cool about
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
it's said that scientifically it's been proven that every letter and every word and every phrase that is said or written has an energy to it. It's apparently scientific. And they've done tests on it. I don't know if you've ever seen the Japanese experiment with a plant that you write good words and bad words on the side of the plant, and then you see the difference between how it grows. Or water, you put good
ah,
words and bad words, and they look under a microscope at the shape of the crystals and the molecules, and they change. Anyway, you can look it up, or we can plug it in later. Either way, I think I am the living, loving, joyful expression of life is a great sentence with great energies. Anyway, so one of these makes a great Christmas gift and saves plastic, although it's not perfect. And I have to say, being sustainable during the holiday season is pretty challenging, but hopefully soon we will have so many solutions replacing um, everything that we buy in the shops that it'll make it easier as we go along. That's what we need to do. We need to inspire to the point where even the shop owners stop buying the products that are bad for the environment and putting them on the shelves for the buyer to buy. See, it has to do all of us together. It has to be the decision makers at COP, has to be the consumer in the shop, and it has to be the salespeople who sell the things that people are buying in the shops, and also the managers and business owners and the whether you're working at a hospital managing a team or a chef in a restaurant or a lawyer in a law firm or a CEO in a high tech business.
also. But I'll tell you one thing. This a story that my grandmother was telling to me.
Hmm.
She was coming from a very small village, the south from the south of Italy, and
Hmm.
she was telling that originally Christmas was thought to be also a recycling way because the gift were something that maybe were in your home and you will not never use and so on, and you are giving to another one
Oh,
uh, in order to do not waste.
really?
So yeah, but there was no consumerism, no, there was like a community economy, you can say. on giving the gift, and nobody was upset because it was a normal thing and was like a tradition
Oh,
to do
that's
that.
how it was where you when you grew up?
No, actually, when I grew up, was not like this because in that period, like the shops were just open, so on. But originally, like on the rural traditions and so on, was something like this. And also,
Really?
if they were handmade, I don't know, basket handmade from the hail or some other handicraft and so on. They were like handmade and these were the gifts. There were no like buying no shops, especially in small villages, and so the people were used to gift themselves what they had. But was rich the same because this was building also relationship into the community, So the sense of giving to the
Mhm.
others, the sense of create this feeling. Uh, in fact, there was a way of saying, yeah, that is common also in Italy, but I think it coming from the rural tradition. That was the importance is the toes, no?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, yeah,
So
I
what?
think that's amazing that that's how
Yeah.
people
So
were.
basically, this thing was related to the fact that wasn't not important the gift itself, what it was, and so on, but the fact that you thought about the gift, and
That's
so
what I
you
was
thought
gonna
about
say.
that person, the person.
The intention, the love, like the focus, like you're really thinking about what you're getting and who you're getting it for and who you're giving it to and the whole usually like the whole process of like how they're going to feel when they receive it. There's like a whole process
Exactly.
to giving gifts. So in past years I've said and I will hopefully do a campaign of this soon called Be Gifted. And it says, what does it mean to be gifted in the season of giving and receiving gifts? And I love it because it's like if we're all giving gifts and it's not just about like, okay, I gave a gift, I gave something. It's like, what does it mean? What is a gift? And not only gifts like a material item, what does it mean to be gifted? Like everybody has a gift. And what is your gift? And what does it mean to be gifted? And I have another idea for a sustainable gift. You want to see it?
Uh-huh. Yes, sure.
I think
If
you're
I
gonna
have been
like
enough good, I want to see that.
what?
If I have been enough good, I want to see that. I
Ah,
don't know
if you've been
if I
yeah.
deserve.
Um actually I'm gonna mention this. I don't there's actually a different one I want to get in a moment. But there is this that I love. Have you seen this?
Aha.
Did you see
Yes.
this book?
Yes, a little bit faded. Okay, now it's clear. This is something that's very important also for a sustainable Sunday and for sustainable also Christmas and every
Yeah.
festivity, I guess. I want to
Yeah.
add one thing, but please go ahead on that.
No, no, you go ahead. Or I can present this and then have you
Sure.
seen this?
Yes, I saw the book. It's a book, no?
It's a book, yes. And they handed it out at COP. I don't know if it's for sale, but even the topic, food is climate, is incredibly important. And with holiday season being full of food, I think it's important to recognize that it's not just about the gifts, which I have something I'm going to bring in a moment. I think you'll be really happy. But it really is about the impact of food on our climate and all of the things that we're talking about right now will always and forever start and end in one place, our choice. What do we choose every moment to say and do? And do we choose to eat this or eat that? To buy this or to buy that? So it's food is really the most unspoken about, however, the most impactful part of our climate change challenge, and the impact that food, the way that we eat right now and what we eat, is really at the center of climate change and global warming. Go ahead, Domenico, I give it to you.
Yeah, yeah. The food is very important, especially in Christmas time and festivity. And I would want to say that I come from a country in which food is like part of the culture and also part of the celebration very hardly. And originally, I will just come back to the origins. For example, the Christmas meal or the festivity meal were the place in which all together the family was gathering to eat something special together that maybe was coming from the rural side and so on. With the like I don't know, industrial explosion with like urban sprawl and so on. This transition was in a way we can say uh, doped because uh, when the people were thinking about the Christmas Eve and so on, they will like overcook sometime. A lot of food that finally we learn to waste because even though the tradition to be gathered together was maintained, the amount of food and amount of production of food that was pertaining these ceremonies, this celebration, was too high, and also the disposals, the packaging and so on. And
Mm-hmm.
you can see properly the increasing amount of packaging in the Christmas times in urban cities and so on, because a lot of people are buying a lot of food to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is it to a like a urban level is a bit unsustainable, no? Because it produces a lot of wastage, lot of also wasted food. But anciently, the tradition was to like get the best from the local production and gather the family. And even though it was not so big, the table of not so rich the table, the important was to stay together, but also to save everything from the table. And I think that also to rethink a sustainable festivity and so on, we have to rethink also how do we want to set up the table with local food and so on, but also with the right amounts of food, not to
Mm-hmm.
waste food, not to produce a lot of packages and so on. And it's very important to understand the very meaning of that book, that food is climate. Our consumption, if, for example, we reduce the amount of meat that we want to eat, I don't want now to like be completely avoiding the use of meat or not is a something that pertains everyone, and I don't want to don't know what to judge, but surely if you will reduce
Right.
the amount of meat that we eat, we like reduce we contribute to reduce also the emission for the production, because the massive production of meat is one of the main cause, for example, of methane emission. And actually,
Mhm.
properly talking about co-op, we already pledged to reduce the methane emission by 30% on 2030. And one of the sector that will be one like target sector is surely the food system.
That's right. Not that COP is a good example because it hasn't been, but also, um, like, okay, we're really diving deep now, but at, what's at the heart of what the scientists are saying is only getting worse right now is the potential collapse of the Amazon rainforest because of meat. No, I'm not saying go be vegan. I am saying You don't have to eat meat 3 times a day, every single day. Not bacon for lunch, steak for brunch and or lunch, and then bolognese for dinner, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's not sausage for breakfast, um, cottage pie for lunch, and then I don't know, meat pie for dinner. It's just no one's saying you have to be vegan completely. We are saying cut down your meat and source your meat. Where do you get your meat from? And where do the people who sell you their meat get their meat from? Yes, it means even if you're sitting in a restaurant, ask them, where do you source your meat from? Is it sustainable? Do you try? Is it local? Even just asking them, you can still go ahead and end up ordering it. It doesn't mean you don't order it, but at least you bring it to their awareness. And the more of us do this, the more impact we have on creating change in behaviors that have this kind of impact on our world, isn't it?
Totally agree. Also, be aware of the source of the meat is also very important to assess and to understand when we are reducing or not, of course.
And
Uh,
today we are at, as of last week, 22% deforestation of the Amazon. And you know why they're deforesting? To put
for
cows there and soybeans to feed the cows. Why? Because we are buying the meat in Europe and the rest of the world from Brazil, from the Amazon, which is just terrible. And at 23 to 25%, we passed the tipping point, and we're almost there. It's really, really awful.
I totally agree. And also, I want to add one thing. Uh, I very believe in the concept of One Health. One Health means that the health of the planet is also human health. Actually, the misuse and overuse of meat is also dangerous for our health and is
Hmm.
leading to the long term to more cardiovascular disease, more proneness to diabetes and so on. This is something that has been studied. There are scientific studies and medical studies about that. That the overuse of proteic diet is going to lead finally to cardiovascular disease or metabolism disease and so on. And actually, we have the possibility also to have a healthy diet also for ourselves if we reduce this amount of meat and we also include more vegetables, more vitamins, and so on. And finally, we are leading to have not just something that is healthy for the environment, but also healthy for ourselves. No, we have longer life also. No, so it's
Yeah,
something magic. One of my friend that is an Italian diplomat and is always having these talks and so on. Sometimes he shows the double pyramid. I don't know if you ever seen that, the double pyramid between the impact in terms of water consumption and resource consumption for a production of a certain food and the healthiness of this food. And you can see that the two pyramids are like something complementary. And once a food is overarching impactful, then is also very dangerous for your health at the long term. Indeed, when the
yeah,
food is less consumpting for their production and so on, is also healthier for you.
yeah. Interesting. That makes sense. I mean, we didn't even talk about soil health, but we can do food on another day completely. Are you ready for the next gift?
Yeah, sure.
How to be sustainable during the holiday season. Ta-da!
Whoa,
Woo!
this this is a gift. This is a feed and food for our mind. For our
Food,
mind.
feed your mind, and the rest will follow.
Yes.
Feed your mind, and the rest will follow. That's so much better than free your mind, although free your mind is also really good.
Feed
Feed
your
your
mind.
mind.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
this? What is this?
Yeah. Have you ever thought about the climate fresk?
Have we? Have
So,
we talked about climate trust? I believe not.
so for the ones that are following, climate fresk is a super nice idea that has come from Cedric Ringenbauer. This is also a friend of us that is also a genius, we can say, because he built
Definitely.
this game that you can use to teach climate change in a smart way. So to let you understand also the relationship between cause effects and also the whole picture on all the phenomena related to climate change. So
Woohoo!
now,
This is officially my favorite educational tool, just so you know. This and
actually, yes.
En-ROADS and the Project Drawdown are like my favorite.
Actually, yes. So we are planning with Moran to have also Cedric here in our Sustainable Sunday.
When are we gonna
But
have
in
it?
the yes, I think that as soon as possible because that guy is amazing, and I really think that it's important to like foster the idea and also let him explain a little bit better about that because now it's a not just a game. It started as a game, but now it's a community. You know,
That is right. So this is a very creative way to teach what climate change is. And it says the aim is for each team to place the cards in order on the table, find all the cause and effect relationships, and draw arrows between the cards to illustrate what climate change is all about. That's it. So basically, you spread out these cards on a table in any order they come, and you have to figure out actually what are the causes and effects of climate change? Where does it start? And where will it end up if we don't do something about it now? It's an amazing way to give a macro view of what's going on in our world and why people like me and Domenico are doing what we're doing and why we are so activated to do something about it and specifically to do something about it through education and awareness, which is what Sustainable Sundays are all about from Hubzine, Italia, and B. This is what we're all about. And Climate Fresk are really good friends of ours. Um, I'd say allies and colleagues for this road on the way to healing our planet and caring for our future together.
totally yes. Check it out on the website. You can find on Climate Fest. There is also in different languages. Also, yeah, now we are seeing the English version, but there is in French, in Italian.
There's
Um,
actually soon you're going to see it on B's website in multiple languages. And I can say I live right now in the Middle East. So those who don't know that, we are about to start selling them in Hebrew and Arabic.
wow. Congrats.
Yay!
It's a super news and congratulations.
Thanks.
And
It's a great gift for anyone. And it's not just about children and education. This is something, first of all, it's a very serious game. It could take up to 3 hours, sometimes less, depending on how deep you go into it. Each card has two sides. Let's say I chose this one. Whoa, where did I go? Hello, peekaboo. There we are. Rising sea levels, and it has all the information on it. And then on the back, it gives you a tidbit about it, something informative. For example, since the 1900s, since 1900, sea levels have risen by 20 centimeters. This is caused by the thermal expansion of ocean waters and the melting of glaciers and ice sheets.
it's super clear. And they are really interesting because they can explain very clearly the all the phenomena related to climate change. And
20 centimeters in 100 years. Mwah, that's really scary.
yes, yes, yes.
That's really
But
scary.
I want to say is one thing. I want to concur on your point that is not like a game for children and so on, but is usual also for adults. And actually, I think that is more effective for adults. I'll tell you
Me
this
too.
story. Once we used this game in a sort of festival related to climate change, and we were open space, and we have like sort of a small desk where we put the all the cards, and we started to play to showcase the game, no? And
Yeah.
actually, the thing that was funny that the children was super smart to understand and so on, and there the adults were like more like trying to understand with more like a little bit slowness. And finally it comes that the adults were taking more fun and they were like staying for a longer time on our desk because they engaged in this game because were understanding, you know, with this like movements of card with like
There you go.
narration. So it's not just a game for children. Don't think about that. It's the wrong vision, but think that is a serious game, or we can say, because also it engaged the adults and so on. Of course, there are also, as I know, children version because maybe for the very small kids you need to simplify some elements and so on. But
Hmm.
don't think that a game is just for children.
Well, actually, one of the biggest clients of Climate Fest are corporations. It's a great activity to invite someone to facilitate the game at your workplace. So, for all you high tech people looking for a fun day out for your workers, your team building, etc., and those who have now the corporate social responsibility that people are starting to incorporate into their workplace. This is a great way to incorporate awareness on climate change and also, well, it's, I have to say, it leaves you with so much information that it not only answers questions, it also leaves you with answers that you can come up to the conclusions by yourself. It even educated me, I have to say. It even educated me. And not that I'm not educatable, but even someone who's deep in the climate scene, I feel like almost everyone can learn something new almost every time you play this game. So it's more than a game.
Totally concur. And so, Moran, we are now like quite at the end, but do you want to show other surprises?
I've got lots of surprises, Domenico. If you want, there is one more, but I mean, there are a bunch more, but I can show one, but it's a bit. Um, I'm not sure which one to show, so I think I'm just going to show this one because I do think it's amazing. It's in Hebrew, but it's super inspiring. Whoa, okay, let's see how we can see this.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's a book again. Let me see. Which one should we look at? I'll say this one, okay? This one is a book called The Kingdom of Mathematics, okay? And it's a
Uh-huh.
beautiful way to teach math in a new way. Whoa, where am I? How do I do this without? Let me do this for a moment without. Okay, here we go. There's the book, okay? And it still has yet to be translated into other languages, but it's basically teaching kids about mathematics through like characters. They go on an adventure. Every number, here's the number 8. See it? Has a story it's telling. They're all interrelated. There's the 8 with the 3 and the 7. I think they're looking for someone. Oh, there's a number 1. See the number 1? And basically, this also has an interactive app on that you connect to it, and music that gets like its own music. Look, there's an app. See? Whoop. And it's super engaging for kids. There, it comes with stickers and bookmarks, and it's super interactive. And I think that's like the future of education. And these make great books. I mean, gifts for the holiday season. Although what I just showed was not for the entire world because it's in Hebrew, but hopefully they will translate it soon. I have a couple other books. I can save them for next time. How to be sustainable during the holiday season on Sustainable Sundays. I think this was a actually great break from what we usually talk about and a great way to use our Sustainable Sundays time for something in a time of year when consumerism is at its peak, even during the pandemic. And
Yeah.
I think what one thing we can just, I can use the Climate Fest to just give a little hint. Activities. Our choices matter. That's all I'm going to say. What we do, what we buy, what we give, what we eat, what we drink, what we say, all of this matters. So we should be more aware of the impact of our choices. That's what I think. On
True.
ourselves, others, and life. Boom. That's all I got for
True.
today.
I agree totally. Thank you very much, Moran. And
Yay.
so let's take this as a final message. I don't know if you want to add something else.
I'm ready. I'm good with that.
And thank you very much. And I also invite all of you to have a sustainable holiday, sustainable Christmas Eve, whatever, New Year's Eve, and so on. It's important because we have to start from that. We have not to think that it's vacation and then we can like close everything and because climate is not going to vacation. But we can also be virtuous. We can do the same thing. We can have the same fun, but in a sustainable way. That's the message, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, Moran, for the time.
Thank you, Domenico. Always a pleasure. And I would just say, remember to have happy holidays, being together with the ones you love, and wherever you are, just be with yourself as well. And all of what we said multiplied by a critical mass.
Thank you. Bye bye, and see you to the next Sustainable Sunday.
Yeah,
Bye.
we're on our way to a better world. Yeah.